So a lot of pros have announced that they will be retiring or switching to a different game, especially Valorant. Some big names being Sinatraaj, Taimou, sugarfree, Tviq, shadowburn, Wanted, and Kephrii. And it's not like Valorant killed Overwatch. Overwatch killed itself. From what I understand is that there are three major issues. Pros want to be able to practice the meta and consistently improve on it, whereas we, the viewers, had to watch the same meta being played for 6 months. I personally enjoy the hero pools because the games are fresh and exciting every week. But with a static meta like GOATs, 2 teams dominated while the rest struggled. So not only were we watching GOATs every week, it was also the same results. So I don't know how that can be fun to watch for anyone. But it seems we have to come to a compromise that works for both the viewers and the pros. Pros want the game to be competitive and rewarded for his skill and creativity, but Blizzard is trying to keep the casuals happy because the casuals are the majority of the player base. The game is super frustrating and tilting to play. Seagull released a video called The State of Overwatch over a year ago, where his main point was that Overwatch has become frustrating and tilting to play. Either the games are really good or really bad. And despite all the changes and patches since then, those statements are still true. But of course, COVID-19 is playing a catalyst in all of this. The hardest hit team is Vancouver Titans. Almost all of its members have parted ways. Blizzard is worried though and is trying to improve the state of the game, like nerfing the CCs.
There are too many deployables. There are too many structures. There's too much items that are around, dude. Like, it's just so dumb, dude. Remember when FP had bullets, dude?
Are you sure?
I sure as hell.
Yes, so do 120.
Yeah, I'm actually popping off.
Like, look at this shit. TP here, turrets there, this, that, flying orb, my orb, their shield, my shield, their shield,
No,
mini turrets, flying red orb. Like, guys, I don't know what's going on.
8 months of this
Just finished my 10-hour workday commute, worked 8 hard, long hour commute to work. All right, let me sit down and play Overwatch. That sounds like it's gonna make my day better. Oh, I'm playing Orisa. Can I work a double? Can I come back to work? I've already reached my overtime this week.
The biggest problem is the devs don't give a fuck about us, not pro players at least. It seems, I mean, that's how I feel. Like, we've had patches that last in like a super stagnant meta for like 8 months in ranked, in pro play, at least for high level play, right? So for pros, it's like stagnant. Like we had GOATs for fucking 3 stages. GOATs was like 80% playtime for like 3 stages. How many? That's like what, like 4 or 5 months? Like, come on, guys, that's so bad. The meta should be changing every couple months, in my opinion. I think the game would be in a much healthier state if the meta had a big shift every couple months. The problem is they're looking at fucking quick play data. They're looking at quick play win rates. It's like, what do you mean? We're not even having a conversation if you're talking about quick play win rates. I thought Overwatch had this rule set. You're saying we're balancing for 2 rule sets at the same time? 2 different games? Like, if you change the time limit, the game changes, you know? Like, different heroes become better, different heroes become worse.
I could be playing a real fucking game that's actually competitive and fun and rewarding instead of this fucking dog shit of a fucking waste of fucking piece of shit, fucking degenerate fucking game. And Blizzard's too retarded to be able to fucking actually make it well.
I will say, I can't obviously give away too many details, but like, everyone wants out. Everybody wants out. Nobody is happy with what Blizzard is doing. COVID's putting extra strain on everything. People want to get out of Overwatch League. Obviously, people are pulling out of contenders. Like, Montreal Rebellion wasn't the first, and it definitely won't be the last to pull out. Like, there's going to be more like that. Unless there are big changes, it's only going to get worse from here for Overwatch.
Winston is a beautifully designed character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Reinhardt, Winston, Ryan, like that is how it needs to be done. Risk to reward. In order to actually make a play and get value, you actually have to do something smart. With Brig, you don't have to do that. With Moira, you don't have to fucking do that. Like, Like, that's the problem with these characters. It's like, you get rewarded for literally existing, not actually making a good play. It diminishes the competitive integrity of the game, and it destroys the skill rating system.
All right, chat. What do these games have in common? CSGO, Dota / League of Legends. All right, here you go. You ready? CSGO, many maps, few balance changes, right? One map, many balance changes, right? Now we get to Overwatch. Many balance changes, many maps. It's a lot harder in Overwatch, considering so much shit changes constantly on so many different maps. It makes Overwatch a big pain in the ass to figure out after balance changes, because after every single balance change that occurs, it changes it on every single map, and the entire map metas change.
She came back in.
Oh, hey, buddy, he's better than you. He's better than you. He's better than you. That's what that is, dude. That Mortar player did nothing besides use his ability, and we don't have a main healer in the next fight. Any other healer in the game, any other hero in the game doesn't get that value. That's not defending yourself. That's free, brain-dead value, because the developers of this game do not understand what competitive integrity is, and they have no idea how to balance their game. Hire me. I will get you more active players back in 1 week than you've had in 2.5 years. And I'm a dumbass.
There's just so many examples of when they just made these changes that don't make any sense in the context of like adding new heroes and like the current metagame. And this is another one. Like, it's targeted at the best players, man. Self-stuns are like, in their nature, they're targeted at good players. Because speed, like time is the critical resource for very, very good players. It's actually not HP, it's not cooldowns. You can work around those restrictions with intelligent game plans. You can work around those restrictions, and you can play on a slightly different tempo that works for those restrictions on the cooldowns. But the self-stun is like, it's like you just can't use that ability anymore, right? Like, you can't, like his whole thing of uppercutting people and killing them, using your abilities across the map, uppercut an enemy and kill them because they're alone, they're out of position, or they don't see you coming, one of those things, or multiple of them most of the time. That was his playstyle. So the fact that they're just like nerfing the most fundamental aspect of the hero, and I guess they keep saying the rocket punch is the thing that new players hate, then nerf it. Fuck the punch, man. The good players just use the punch to get around. Like 90% of the time, you're just using the punch for mobility anyway.
I enjoy Overwatch, and I always have deep respect for people that watch Overwatch because it's, you know, where we came from. And I like playing it sometimes, but I can't play this. This is unplayable, and it's just not fun. It's a piece of shit, and I don't think I've ever... Yeah, there's metas that could have been worse on paper, but this is, experience-wise, by far the worst thing I've ever had my hands on.
How do I feel about the double shield meta? How do I feel about the double shield meta?
How did it even make it to live servers? How?
Playing close.
How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game?
Imagine having one job and not being able to balance the game after 3 years.
That is not true. That is not true. It's not one job. It's like 5 jobs. They're not trying to balance the game. They're trying to maintain the game alive for casuals, balance the game for casuals and pros. Trying to make the game thrive with the normies, keep Overwatch alive and thriving, keep shareholders happy. It's impossible. It's a web of problems. That's why it's not balanced, because they don't have one job, they have 6 of them, and some of them are not even qualified to do it.
Listen, chat. I'll tell you how to feel about metas in Overwatch. You don't feel. You just have to realize that you're going to be stuck with it for a year, and there's nothing you say or do that will change anything about it. Because Blizzard doesn't give a fuck.
Missed the meta again. Overwatch's game balance team. God, bro. The next meta, chat, I'm not even fucking with you right now. I'm not even fucking with you right now. Are you ready for the next meta? Are you ready to hear this shit, chat? Are you ready to hear this shit, chat? Ready? Guess what? Guess what the tank line is? Orisa and Sigma. God! Phenomenal job! Phenomenal job! Phenomenal job! Great!
I'm mad about it. I'm genuinely mad about it. And do you guys understand, like, when you love a game this much, we just want it to succeed and you want it to be good. And then you just see it slowly die of neglect. slowly, bit by bit, dying of neglect.
How do you feel about tanks doing basically the same damage as DPS while also having triple health with tanking abilities? You mean, how do I feel about tanks having triple the health, more mobility, more damage, more movement than every single DPS hero in the game, all while getting supported by supports who have more damage and better ultimates than all the DPS characters? Yeah, I feel great.
I'm so frustrated by this game. Fuck me. It's impossible. I don't know why it's impossible. I don't feel like I play it that badly. But just the way that the game works is fucking impossible. It's impossible to win games.
Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think Blizzard should do to increase Overwatch esports viewership and also make the game less frustrating and tilting in the comments below.